What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the BuiBros Football Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Quinn Bowie, and I cheer for the LA Chargers. Across from me, my brother Brandon.
And I cheer for the Minnesota Vikings. And on today's episode, we're going to be doing a little recap of OTAs, maybe some team activities or team updates that we have for the Vikings, for the Chargers. And we'll be doing another Mount Rushmore ranking system, or ranking, just like we did last week. This week we will be doing running backs and tight ends. So we'll do the AFC, the NFC for each, and then kind of come to an entire NFL Mount Rushmore for current players playing in this upcoming season. So that should be fun.
Absolutely, Brandon. Yeah, it should be fun. And if you didn't get a chance to check out that episode, make sure to do so on our channel. It's going to be good. Like Brandon said, today's NFL, who makes the Mount Rushmore list? And if you are with us today, thank you so much for stopping by. We do appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us, talk a little bit of NFL. If you could, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like the video and hit the notification bell. It really does help the channel out. Lets us know that you enjoy watching. And chat with us in the comment section. Anything you want to chat about, we're here for. Football every day. Doesn't have to just be Sunday.
That's exactly
All right, Brandon. Yes. So in the last week, we get OTAs, organized team activities. For the most part, well, it is voluntary. But over here at the Chargers, the attendance has been pretty good. Even veterans like Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack are there. Not necessarily something to make a big deal out of, because they were there last year with Brandon Staley, but they are setting that example, and obviously the coaches, they 100% want everybody as much of the team there as possible, show the rookies the ropes, get the team up to speed, and in a new regime, a new era of Chargers football, I think that's extremely important.
Yeah, I think with the new coaches, new systems in place, that it's really important for the guys to get out there. I think that they're there trying to learn just as much as they are just trying to get the workouts in, right? So they want to be able to perform. It's really important to get in there when everything's new. So that's good that everyone's there.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and it seems that everything that's going on in the OTAs, it is a brand new era of Chargers football. I know we've said it already, but it really is, and Harbaugh seems to be putting everything he can into this program to get them up to speed and to be a successful, a tough, mean football team as quickly as possible. And a rumor came out today. It looked like a report came out what Michigan was offering him to come back and be the highest paid coach in college football. It was a 5-year, averaged $11 million annually, and he got 5 more a year reportedly with the Chargers at $16 million a year over a 5-year contract. So he is absolutely worth every penny, and he's putting in the work right now, and it's showing. But over in the OTAs for the Chargers camp here, Bridget Condon, NFL Network reporter, she was there at day one, and she said the first thing that she wanted to mention was they're throwing the ball. Everybody's expecting the Chargers to be running the ball, and I know it's early on, and they're probably just trying to get Herbert warmed up, and they're going to implement the run when everybody's healthy, ready to go. J.K. Dobbins, coming off a big injury there. Gus Edwards, he hasn't been asked to take a full load since he's been in the NFL. So, and it's early on. You don't need to rush it in there. But that's pretty exciting. Another culture change, I guess for some reason it's noteworthy that the Chargers are no longer playing music at the facilities during the OTAs, during the workouts. It's all about focus, hard work, and there was a focus on conditioning, where I guess after the 2-hour practice, they they're still, they're running hills and continuing to push and grind just to get that extra little bit, because that's what we're going to need to do. The players have mentioned we got to be physical. We got to be that team that in the fourth quarter you don't want to play us because we've got that extra push and we're still going.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, the no music. It's kind of like I think the Steelers did that a few years ago. And then there was something like last year, the year before with Miami, and no ping pong table or something like that in the
yeah. I remember reading about that.
No nonsense, just get to business.
No nonsense. But just to give you a little bit more of this competitive nature and atmosphere that Harbaugh's building here. So there is this exercise, this routine called the 150s that the Chargers do. And they do it in 25-yard increments. So you have to run to 25 yards, you get the get back. You have to run to 50 yards, you have to get back. So you have to run 6 times to get all the way back. And on average, people say they want you to do it in under 30 seconds. Harbaugh says, no, I want you to do it in under 29.9 seconds. Just that extra bit. Don't be the average player. Be better than that. Set a higher standard. Oh my goodness. I just can't wait.
Get you fired
Chargers
up.
football right around the corner. Well, it's here. And this is the beginning of that new era that we as Chargers fans are so excited for. Every offseason, though, we have to tame our expectations. We are the offseason darlings. We are the offseason Super Bowl champs quite often. And it's tough now as we get into the summertime and getting ready for the season. I'm ready.
Exciting, man. It's exciting. It's just that's like a fun attitude to have, just to put into the players, like the 29.9. It's just because it's not about that drill, right? It's about every drill, and it's about every play. It's like, well, how fast did you run there? How quickly did you get to your point over here? Well, you shouldn't go that quick. You should go just a bit quicker than that. It's
Absolutely.
about saying to yourself, that was not good enough. I need to go just a little bit extra. So that's kind of cool. I'm sure all those guys have that mindset. Like, you need to have something like that to be in the NFL. But just you also kind of need reminders of that, throughout the season, throughout training camp, throughout OTAs, everywhere you can. So hopefully it pays off, man. Like, I'm super excited to watch that guy.
For sure. We all expect it to be quick, or we hope it to be quick, just because of Harbaugh's, the historical nature there. But it will happen. I do know that. And other highlights, Asante Samuel Jr. looking good, and Jesse Minter's defense pulling an interception, pass breakups as well. I'm excited for that defense. He again led I believe the top scoring defense in college last year, and he's got some foundational pieces: Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Asante Samuel Jr. He's living up to that last name. I'll tell you that much. He really is. So get ready for this defense to look a heck of a lot different. Maybe a sneaky fantasy defense, DST, to pick up there. We'll see.
It's always fun to get the homer defense picks.
It's always good. You got to get somebody, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes if you've got somebody good, Justin Jefferson, Justin Herbert, you might have to reach a little bit too high for them. But we'll get more into fantasy as the season comes along.
Yeah, I'm getting really excited.
100%. Last but not least, in the OTAs, what's really exciting for Chargers fans, because we've been dying for that wide receiver talent. When we got Ladd McConkey there in the second round, we knew what a great prospect he's going to be, and it looks like he's already building that rapport with Justin Herbert,
I did read that.
getting out open into space, making explosive plays. I'm happy to hear that the connection is being built early, and I can't wait to see what the season brings there.
Yeah, I read that little report about him getting good and getting the feel for Herbert's timing, and Herbert getting the feel for his timing. So it's good, right?
Yeah,
but
it's great.
It's kind of one of those things where that's obvious. Like, obviously they're gonna say something like that, right? Like, they're not.
You're building the hype 100%. You're building the hype 100%. But just as you build the hype, you do have to tone it down a little bit. And with the OTAs,
Yeah.
Chargers and injury seem to be synonymous.
Yeah, well,
And third round pick,
I
and
saw
former
that.
Wolverine himself, Junior Colson dealing with an injury, undisclosed right now as far as I've read, and but it does seem that it's not going to be too serious
one of the
at this
things
time.
one of the things that I read about him when I saw that came out, a lot of the comments were like, that dude played the last 2 years injured. Like, this won't keep him off the field at all. Apparently he played with two
Really?
broken hands or something. I don't know if that was a joke or not, but apparently he was hurt the last couple of years and it didn't stop him at
Right.
all. Like, they're minor injuries, but still he's playing hurt and he's just a tough dude. He's going to tough it out. He's not going to give up on his rookie year type thing,
Right, 100%. And all these players have that mentality. They want to be out there. They want to play, and that's why they have the coaches, though. Even though he's been playing injured and he has history with that, we do have to be careful. This is the beginning
Look
of
forward,
your NFL
or-
career.
Yeah.
So let's make sure it happens the right way, so you can have a long and successful career in the NFL.
Just side note, we're talking about how, coach speak and, PR talking about this and getting hype up, and nobody ever comes out and says, oh, we don't have it. Like, we're not doing good out here. I just read today, I think his name's Mike McDonald, the coach for the Seahawks now, right?
Seahawks, yeah, former
came
DC
out-
for the Ravens.
Yeah, and he's talking about his defense and how players are picking up the scheme, and he basically said it's not going great. Like, guys haven't picked it up just yet. We're still working through it. But yeah, it was strange. Like, it's one of those things where, oh, you're a rookie head coach, you don't know how to talk to the media yet type thing. Like, you're
Right.
saying,
Give it-
hey, my defense, yeah, it's complicated. Guys haven't really picked it up yet. And then a lot of the comments were like, what do you mean his defense is, hey, get Roquan to go tackle everybody. Hey, you got Kyle Hamilton in the back. He could just take care of everything else, And so he doesn't have those players, I guess, now. And I don't know.
Not of that caliber. It's Seattle. They have Uchenna Nwosu, who used to be a former Charger there. We let him go for cheap. Went and proved it in Seattle and got a multi-year deal there. So good for him. Not going to necessarily compare him to Roquan Smith in that regard. Seattle, they lost I think both their safeties, including Jamal Adams, who's actually visiting Baltimore.
Yeah, I saw
funny
that
enough,
too.
which I know you shrugged your shoulders, but Seattle doesn't have that Kyle Hamilton. That's definitely a piece that defense is missing. And interesting for head coach to say that about the team. Maybe it's a tactic. Hey, let's go. Let's light a fire under their ass, and we'll keep it going.
Yeah, maybe it's like everybody, all of Green Bay last year, we're going to make sure that we give Jordan Love some leeway here. We're all going to be very understanding of, they came out and said a lot of stuff like that. Like, we're tempering our expectations. And it was like,
Right.
dude, you got no confidence in this guy? And then
Yeah.
he comes out and does, half decent. So,
Yeah, I will make an argument that protecting the quarterback's ego might be higher on the priority list than protecting the rest of your team's ego. You get in a quarterback's head, and a lot changes for the entire team. I do want to give a shout out. One more thing before I pass it over to you and give a Vikings update, but one of my favorite Chargers of all time, Keenan Allen.
yes.
He finally did address the Chargers fans, and after his trade to Chicago, and his message was great. He has all love for the fans. Said San Diego was the best city he's ever been in, and he had a great time. And there's no ill will, but the show must go on, and he does have a legacy to build and continue to build. I know he's chasing the ring as much as everybody else, and all the best. Let me think about this. Have a good enough year that you can still get paid next year, but don't do too well, especially against the Vikings. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
That's correct. That's correct. Do great, because they don't play you this year for 15 games this year. You know?
Right, yes.
Yeah, 15 games.
But anyway, that's what's going on in the Chargers neck of the woods. What's happening over there with the Vikings, Brandon?
The Vikings. Interesting things. First off, you're talking about attendance. We'll talk attendance at OTAs.
I don't think 100% attendance.
I don't
at
think
Vikings
so.
OTA.
You know what? And if
No.
we're going to be valuing players and saying, well, who cares if that guy shows up? Well, half our team didn't show up. Potentially our entire team in Justin Jefferson. He is not there at OTAs, which I don't know if he was there last year. I know that he has skipped out on optional team activities, these organized team activities.
Yep.
He has skipped out in the past, like he did last year. He skipped out on some things, maybe the year before, because he's a star now. This is when they film all their commercials. This is when they do all of their like media obligations, or not media necessarily, but sponsorship obligations, all that kind of stuff. So he's got a lot going on. And then there's the whole contract situation as well, which will get done, before training camp, most likely. They're saying,
Brandon, he's got all these media obligations. Does that sound like a guy with football on his mind?
You think that
you need to be a winner. You need to be there for your quarterback and building the rapport.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you think?
Okay. Yes to that one.
Jada to JJ. How are we going to get that?
But he's also, this is how I'm looking at it. He's also trying to give reps to other guys because they may need it. Whereas he is still the best player in the league, best wide receiver in the league. So he doesn't need those reps right now. He's still putting in work. And Sam Darnold said that. He was like, yeah, we're all working hard here. Justin's not here, but I'm sure he's working hard wherever he is. And he is. These guys
working hard on his lines for his commercial.
Maybe, man. He had a hilarious, I feel like it was like Little Caesars or something. A hilarious commercial last year. One of my favorite things. I don't know. It was funny. Like, you see some commercials.
You gonna pay him or what?
This
This is gonna be crazy here.
It's
CeeDee Lamb's
definitely
gonna
gonna get paid.
come up.
Tom Pelissero came out and talked about it, the latest details, and it's just a bunch of nothing. But it's gonna get done. Like, he's not gonna hold out. He's gonna play, and he doesn't need to hold out because the deal's getting done. They didn't start talking, I think, until after the draft. Like
Okay.
they didn't start with these conversations until, like, serious in these conversations until after that. So they're doing it. I don't know. Until it's not done, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it not being done until all of a sudden it's not done when it needs to be done, and then you can worry. But right now, it's just like it could have happened, a month ago, or it could happen in a month from now, and it doesn't really matter. So that's kind of where I'm at now. But so he is not there, but possibly explained with his extra commitments
Right.
on top of his rigorous football training.
Busy guy. That
guy.
is.
He also actually, this is off topic kind of. I think he has like a custody battle or something going on. Or not custody, or something to do with a baby mama in like New York or New Jersey or something like that. So he might be dealing with that.
So all good things.
All good things. It's
Great
weird.
off season.
It's weird. Like, you never really. It's one of those. I'm sure there's tons of players that have things like that go on behind the scenes, but it's not really ever news, I don't know. Anyway, so maybe that's something too. But either way, he's going to be great this year. We have no doubts about that. But he is not at OTAs, and that's what we're updating on is OTAs. Second thing is that Darnold apparently looks really, really good. When he's not facing a real pressure or a real rush. So Darnold looks good. The team seems to be happy with him. The media, the reporters seem to be happy with him. So we're happy with him. It seems like he will be the starter, that we talked about before. Like, JJ McCarthy has to hit certain milestones before he's going to be allowed to get on the field. And those milestones are going to be a little ways away. So Darnold is our guy. And then speaking of JJ McCarthy, Apparently, he does not look so good.
No.
Yes, there's a video of him, and I think he passed to a coach, and he missed him like 10 feet away. Just a video, you know what I mean? And then it's obviously gonna be spread around.
Yeah, it's just a video, no problem.
But apparently, he has not looked very good at camp. But then after I saw that, people were explaining and talking about how there's been reports that he is reworking his footwork, reworking like his hip swings, and then reworking his throwing motion to match the tempo of our offense. You know, so he's working on these mechanics and changing the way that he operates as a quarterback, right? So his instincts can still be there and all that kind of stuff, but they're working on a lot of the small details. And while he's doing those things and trying to get into it and get the feel for it, he's not performing as well as he would like, right? So
right, when you're working on those fundamentals and really trying to like change, like have a deep rooted change in how you play football, that's gonna take some time for sure.
Yeah, these
I
guys
read only one thing, and that was good about JJ McCarthy, in that he had a rocket launcher attached to his arm.
Yeah.
He's just got such a cannon. He's zinging it over there, and it's pretty exciting.
And
working on your fundamentals, and you've got the arm talent.
It's exciting. It's kind of cool to hear about something like that, you know, that a player is struggling right now, a rookie is struggling right now because they're working on these tiny details that you would just think are, you know, it's going to be quarterback to quarterback and team to team, how they want you to play that, and coach to coach, right? Like KOC was a quarterback. Kevin O'Connell was a quarterback. Right. So he, you know, maybe has a specific way that he wants his quarterback to throw or to do different things. And that was one of the things, like I said, that was reported, is that they're working on these things to match the tempo of the offense. And, you know, you have to, maybe it's just a 3-step drop most of the time, or whatever it may be. It's a quick release. And so the fundamentals into getting to that quick release faster or in time is something that they're working on. So that's pretty cool. You know, they're kind of changing the way that he moves as a quarterback to fit the offense, which is really good, you know, especially if these guys are going to be long-term together. So,
well, I think that's key there, is if they're going to be long-term together, because if he's changing his fundamentals to fit an offense, he will become the definition of a system quarterback. And if that system fails, and can he revert? Like, I feel like that's going to be a very tough task. But again, we're not going to cross that bridge because they're going to be together long term. Yeah. And it's going to be a successful partnership, and this is all going to be worth it.
Yeah, it seems like the culture there is great. You know, by those report cards that we talked about in previous episodes, seems like the coach, like, people love this coach. Harrison Smith came out and was like, one of the reasons I came back, and he took a massive pay cut to come back, is because he wants to continue to play for Coach Kevin O'Connell, who's the offensive coach. It's like, he's a head coach, but he's the offensive guy. And Harrison Smith, the safety, is like, I want to play for this guy. Like, and so he, you know, and he's a veteran, like 12-year veteran or something like that. And he still is excited to come back and play for this coach. It's really nice. So I see him staying for a while. You know, we'll always have some success. Even last year, we were fighting for a playoff spot while being on quarterback 4, I think. And so it's like, you know, we'll always have some semblance of success, I think. And the owners and the GM and everybody's going to recognize that the culture has been built right, and the success will come from that. So, anyways, yeah, that's the update on JJ McCarthy. That's the update on Darnold. Not much of an update. It's just that he's doing well. So that's good to know. And then the other thing that was reported is that Dallas Turner is the star that everyone was hoping he'd be in the early evaluations. Is that he's looking good. So
on the flip side, Brian Flores has a superstar on defense.
100%, 100%, and again, Brian Flores, he's, you know, in the middle of suing the NFL still, I think, and teams might not want to bring him in as a head coach. so maybe we have this dude for a while too, right? It's kind of like,
You got the core. You've got that would be a
it would be
great
amazing.
situation.
It'd be amazing. And like our offensive coordinator, I don't know how much an offensive coordinator does in an offensive head coach's, staff, but
I've always been curious about
me
that
too.
too.
Yeah, I know that they must do lots and work very closely with the head coach, but
Right.
if that guy leaves, it's like whatever, who cares? But anyways, yeah. So OTAs, it's been exciting so far. Just to see the little clips that it's clips of a good throw, and it's like, oh, okay, an NFL quarterback made a decent throw, and an
Okay.
NFL
Bring on the
receiver
football.
caught the ball. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. It's been exciting. And we're excited to see JJ back, and I'm excited to see, how this whole JJ McCarthy thing pans out. Like, that's going to be kind of, what if it works? You know what I mean? And I've just been thinking about,
Right.
if it works, reports on him not doing so well weren't really worrying once I read that they're working on these mechanics. It's kind of like a fun experiment almost, and it's
100%. This is part of the transition to the NFL.
yeah, exactly. It's a totally different game, right? Like college to
And
NFL.
now's the time to get working
Definitely.
through that and go through all the growing pains.
Yeah, it's not like, ooh, you had a rough season and we have evaluated that you're not doing these things correctly. We'll work on that next year. It's like, hey, this is what we want from you. If you're like that already, great, but this is what we need. So when
Can you imagine him lining up when he does get the opportunity? Now work on those fundamentals, those hip
Yeah.
swings, and he throws and it's 10 yards off target.
That's crazy.
Just everybody looks like, what on earth just happened?
We'll see. His first game, what a nerve-wracking situation for a young guy to be in. It'll be nerve-wracking as a
Hey,
fan,
no.
man.
He's a competitor. He
Oh,
knows what
no.
it's like. He's been under the spotlight, and I think he's going to be great.
But Darnold is the perfect example of that. Darnold is the what happens when the lights are too bright,
Did Sam Darnold win a national championship?
I got no clue. Maybe.
I don't think he did. I don't think he
Maybe.
did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he did. Chat, who knows? Because we obviously don't know. Did Sam Darnold win a national championship? You know that we can Google this, but I'm going to say that I'm right and you're wrong.
I didn't even, how am I wrong? I didn't even say he did or didn't.
All right. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that's my update. Dallas Turner, stud. JJ McCarthy, soon to be stud. Everything is looking great. We're gonna do well. Oh,
Yeah.
The only other thing that would pertain to the Vikings somewhat is some reporter came out and was like, ooh, the Green Bay offense is rolling out there in OTAs. And he said something along like, bet everything you have on the Packers this year. And I was like, shit. It's all hype, it's all fluff. But
Yeah, but that's like some serious
damn
fluff.
it. Damn it. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Oh, and one other update that I have, it's just more of a personal thing here, is I bought tickets to a game today.
You got tickets to a game?
Hell yeah.
Which game are you going to?
I'm going to be taking my friend Seb to his first ever NFL game. And he is a new San Francisco 49ers fan. And they go to Minnesota week 2 for the home opener. And we're going to go to that game. It's going to be super fun.
Wow, that is pretty crazy.
Super
Your
fun.
friend Seb is a bandwagon hopper. New
well,
49ers
well, he's
fan?
just
Give me a
new-
break.
he's
Whoever
new
this
NFL
Seb guy,
fan.
boo.
Boo. Yeah, and then you
kidding.
know what is another one that we're looking at, Carly and I? We're looking at going to, I think the Vikings play sometime in October, play Thursday night football in LA against the Rams.
Okay.
And then the Chargers play on Sunday in LA. So
That same weekend, right? They do
maybe,
that little.
just maybe, we might be able to squeeze in a double header there. It's a maybe. I don't know. But
That'd
it's
be
a
a pretty
maybe.
sweet weekend in LA.
That would be so cool to do that. But that's a lot. Going to see 3 games in a year is a lot. Especially, well, we're Canadian
let's
fans.
look at
and
this. Maybe we can see if we can get out there to the Chargers game and help you with that doubleheader weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can do that for you, Brandon and Carly.
Yeah, and it was like, if we go for that whole week, it's just like when you and I went, and it was like, okay, well, we have to go to Disneyland now because we're in LA. Like, we can't, and that just makes it so much more expensive. So we're gonna see. But anyway, that's my small
PTSD.
update.
Yeah,
Personal
PTSD from Disneyland.
I know, man. My feet hurt so bad.
For another time. But if you're still with us, thank you so much for stopping by. We do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed what you listened to, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit and like the video, hit the notification bell. It really does help the channel out. It lets us know that you enjoy what you're listening to. Mm-hmm. And till next time, Brandon, send us off.
Till next time, Skol Bolts, baby. Skol Bolts.
Skol Bolts.
Yeah. Okay. Peace.